Hello, I'm XL, and we're here with Christi Benefield,
Hi.
a practitioner tarot reader at the House of Light, 29 Jackson in Newman, Georgia. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are
That's
you?
good. That's good. So, you are a tarot reader. Tell us a little bit about that, and
Okay.
how did you get into it?
Oh, if you listen to my ex-mother-in-law, I've been doing it for ever since I was a little girl, but I've never really heard of tarot until probably about 15, 20 years ago. I got started talking to friends about it, had a little reading done somewhere at a little corner stand in Atlanta. Um, and then about 10 years ago, somebody handed me a deck and said, "Here, let's read our cards." So I started playing around with it, and that time forward, I was reading my own cards and started reading for friends and family. And
Do you
then
read a particular deck, or can you?
I bought a couple of decks. I
Okay.
started with the Rider Waite, which is a good beginner deck.
Okay.
And then I started looking at other decks and just felt drawn to different decks just because of the variations of the artwork.
Right.
And that's what really drew me into a lot of it. The artwork is beautiful. So I started using different decks and working with those, and I had to stop because it's an addiction.
Oh, just buying the decks. You were just buying.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
just buy them and you don't use them
Yeah.
anymore. I
Well-
recently purchased a Nightmare Before Christmas deck,
Okay.
and I bought it because I love Nightmare Before Christmas and all things Tim Burton.
Okay.
I opened it, I played with it once or twice, it didn't resonate with me, so I set it on my shelf. I was coming home one day and a friend had messaged me as she had purchased a deck online,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't resonate with her.
Yeah.
The cards were really crappy.
Right.
So it hit me, give her that deck, and she loves it. So there
See-
was a reason why I bought it.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of readers say that the deck resonates them, but you're attracted to it, but you still have to have a connection to it.
Yes, yes.
So that deck was meant for her anyway.
Right.
She enjoys it.
Oh yes, oh
Yeah.
yes. It's a neat, it's a really cute deck, and it goes right along with the Rider Waite. It follows that same fool's journey that we follow with the tarot deck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a real easy deck to read. It just
Walk us through a tarot reading. So what you do, like a shuffle and a 5-card spread, or how does that work?
I do shuffle the cards, and generally I asked the person that's getting the tarot reading to also shuffle the cards, think about what they want to ask. I get real quiet, and I let them handle the cards as long as they feel necessary. And when they hand it back, I just do a quick shuffle, and depending on if they tell me they want to know what's going on past, present, future, or what they're really looking for, if it's just usually we just, what am I missing out that the universe wants to say to me? I'll do a cross spread. I'll do one of the bigger spreads, so that way
Okay.
I can get a general idea of what's going on.
Okay.
I have been known to pull single cards, 3 cards, just depending on the time frame of what I feel led to do.
So you said when you were younger, you were drawn to tarot, or you just had this psychic?
I was always drawn to it. I was the weird kid growing up.
Yeah.
And my dad was a preacher.
Okay.
So it was really frowned on.
Yeah.
I got grounded a lot
Right.
because I would find books and I would stash them in plain sight thinking I
Right.
could get away with it. In his study of all his Bible
Right.
theology books, I'd put a book on the
Maybe your book kept falling out.
and he would find it and I would get in trouble.
Right.
So I was always drawn to it. I've had people say that they could see that in me. When I finally came out and said, "Hey, I'm reading tarot," they're like, "I've been waiting for you." So it's,
Were there other members of your family that?
yeah.
Oh, and they
So
were.
come to find out, there's quite a few that are in the same aspect.
Yeah, I'm always curious to why people of religious persuasion are against that type of modality, even though it's all in their Bible.
Right.
You know, following stars.
Yeah, it's
and-
always frowned
Yeah,
upon.
but they frown it, but it's in there already.
Yeah, because
Oh.
it's scary and it's the truth.
So, yeah.
And I look at it the same way with when people say they open their Bible to whatever it falls, that's where they're supposed to read for
Right.
the day. Well, that's kind of the same
Yeah,
thing
same
as
thing,
pulling
right.
a tarot card or oracle card, which is a different There is a difference between tarot and oracle.
Do you want to go into the difference?
No.
Okay. All right.
No.
Okay.
There
You
is
only do tarot. You don't do oracle.
I do. I've recently started dabbling with oracle.
Okay.
I do, but I don't do oracle readings here because it is different. Tarot is very in depth and lunar.
Okay.
It follows. There's a story.
Right.
With tarot, with oracle, you got me talking about it. With oracle, it's very matter of fact. You get that card that it's there.
Okay.
Whereas tarot's lunar, it follows a path.
So would a person come in and request a certain reading, or do you just, like you say, I want you to do an oracle reading for me? Does anyone just come in and just request one?
Nobody has ever requested an oracle reading from me. For myself, sometimes what I've done is I'll pull an oracle card,
Right.
and then I'll start pulling tarot cards to explain, to give me further reading on the oracle card. I do that for myself, and then sometimes I may do that for some people if they request it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you find you help people doing tarot readings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any particular examples you can share with us?
I did a reading. This one stood out because her and I are currently still friends, and I'm in real estate as well. So
Okay.
I did her reading, and it was one of the readings that I actually cried. We were both crying. It touched me, and I've never experienced that before, and it just really, really hit me hard. Okay. And a couple of weeks later, she emailed me because she was wanting to find me on Google to give me a review or find me to thank me, and she found out I was a realtor, and we ended up meeting for lunch. We had a great time. We connected very strongly. She's a beautiful person. We've taken some mediumship classes here together, and I got real estate business. I had to sell her house because her father had passed away, and that's what was brought up in the reading, something along that line. And
so she was a walk-in here at the House of Light,
yeah,
and requested a reading, and that relationship grew from there.
It has grown from there.
That's beautiful.
So it's been really nice, and she's very intuitive, and we've had a really great friendship ever since. So that one really spoke out to me just because of how her reading impacted me emotionally. It was really wild.
I can still see it.
Yeah. We can message each other. We take there's a mediumship class that Kat Sackett does here, and we've started taking her classes because we have a connection there.
So besides the reading, you're expanding into mediumship and expanding the gifts that you're giving Father. Okay.
Yes.
And is that coming naturally the more you delve into or the more you connect with spirit?
Yes, it's coming. It's practice. It's recognizing the feeling you get and the images you see and the voices. Not necessarily voices, but suggestions. Yeah. Imprints is what I would like to say they would be.
Are they like visual imprints or just a feeling?
A feeling sometimes, a smell sometimes. A word just pops into your head. For me, a lot of times it happens through music. When I'm driving and I'm jamming out,
and you get a download,
and I get something.
Yeah.
I had that happen last week on my way here. I was coming in, and I actually had an old friend that had passed away probably about 25 years ago come in and visit me.
Oh wow!
And I could totally feel her and we were laughing, and I was crying all the way here because it was just beautiful. I felt her all over me.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And we were best friends, and I was like, thanks for the visit. It was awesome.
Oh, wow. Okay. No messages, just a visit, just to say hi.
We were hanging out. We were having a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, we were having a good time.
What are some of the myths that people may have about tarot readings, or what expectations are unrealistic? Or what they expect from you as a reader.
Not every day the cards will read for you.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
And you may
not. So you do pull something like I'm not getting anything.
There's nothing there. But myths about tarot.
Because I understand that as a reader, you always try to convey positive information, even if it may be something that a person needs to be aware of, but not really negative.
It's really hard to give. I try to avoid certain news
Okay.
to people. Try to be gentle about it.
But you do get that information.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And people are not receptive of it? Or you
Some
just,
people are. They're taken aback by it. Sometimes when I'm doing the readings, I can see other people's auras while I'm reading them.
Okay.
And that really shocks some people because I could tell them, oh, you've got like an orange aura, you're very happy-go-lucky. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, I am.
Okay.
You know, that kind of happened not long after I started reading tarot here for people and just practicing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are, since you're gifted, what are some of the good things about being gifted, you know, spiritually gifted, and some of the bad things about being spiritually? Like, do you have to sometimes turn off the gift? You know what I mean? Like, I'm busy
I don't
right now.
like to, but I work in the 3D world.
Yes.
So
yes.
it does get shut off during that time. There are times where I really wish I could shut the 3D world off.
Right.
But I do enjoy it. I do have to try to make time sometimes just to sit down and focus on my gifts.
Right.
A lot of times with the gifts that we get, we all have them. It's just brought on by things that have happened in the past, traumatic events that cause us to come down this path, things that we want to correct in ourselves.
Okay.
And I think through my healing and from my past and what I've gone through in my past, I think it's led me to this, to heal and then see the same thing in others so I can help heal them as well. Because I feel like I'm wasting a gift if I do that, or wasting what I went through.
Yeah.
Why go through all that and not have something good come out of it?
So you could have stayed within the real estate world, but you felt a need to do this.
This was before real estate.
Okay. All right.
Real estate was just a bonus.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But you did have a driving need to say, hey, I have this gift.
Yeah.
I've been through some things I need to kind of share with people.
Yeah.
So it's a call.
Now, going on this level with the House of Light, that was just over a year ago. I'm the oldest of 4 children, so I've always been the nurturing one. Based on what we went through as kids, I was always the one the other kids came to.
Okay.
So I've always had that.
I've always had that. Okay.
I've always had that. I've always been the one that they can call and rely on. I'm always the one that made the phone calls. So I always, my natural thing is I want people happy. I want them thriving. I want to make sure everybody's good. I'm checking in. You all right? What can I do for you?
Okay.
And that's just me. And from there, it's just kind of, I'm here.
Well, so let me ask you, so what has been, you said your family, you know, they knew it, even though your father resisted it, you know.
My mom wants to keep it secret.
Your mom
I'm
still,
not allowed to talk
she still
about
keeps it a secret.
Yeah, but when I go to her house, did you bring that pendulum thingy?
Oh, she checks on it, okay. Have you ever read her?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it freaks her out. So she's like, please don't tell anybody.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, I'm going to break my cards out in front of grandmother.
Yeah. So what are your friends and family, any other, do you share with your friends and family, or are they receptive of your gifts?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get it all the time. Did you bring your cards today?
Oh, keeps you busy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
What hours are you here at the House of Light?
From 12 to 3 on Tuesdays.
12, 3, and they can just make an appointment by calling the House of Light?
They can do that, or they can walk in if they're just driving by and feel the need to stop. Stop.
Okay.
You need to stop.
All right. Well, that's beautiful. Well, we've been talking to Christi, I don't want to slaughter your last name, Benefield.
You got it.
The tarot reader, a practitioner here at the House of Light, 29 Jackson in Noonan, Georgia. So if you're driving by and you feel a need to stop, you know, just stop in and ask for Christi. I'm sure if she's here, she'd be glad to give you a reading. I want to thank you for spending time and sharing your gifts and your thoughts with us. And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Beautiful job.